everybody, and welcome. Today is week 1 of our 8-week vinyassa yoga for beginners course. My intention for this course is to focus on the principles of alignment, offering you slow detail and modifications in order to support your practice as it evolves, until a stage where we become more familiar with the poses and how to safely transition between them. So vinyasa is a movement practice that is synchronized with the breath, and the breathing technique that we use is known as a UIG breath, also known as the victorious breath. It is effective when combined with vinyasa, as it helps to create a steady flow of energy in the body, while also contributing to keeping the mind steady and quiet. So when you are ready, we will come to a comfortable seat to sit with a tall spine. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips, and center your head over your spine, maybe with a slight tuck of your chin towards your chest. Resting the palms of your hands on your laps or on your knees. Draw your shoulder blades down the back. And the option here is to just close your eyes or just sit with a soft gaze. Relaxing all the muscles of the body. Your jaws are relaxed. Your throat is soft. And just beginning the process of arriving on your mat. Connecting your mind with your body and your breath. Just notice as you inhale how the belly rises. Exhale, your belly falls. Inhale, your belly rises. Exhale, your belly falls. Inhale, your belly rises, your ribs expand horizontally towards your side body. Your chest lifts towards your shoulders. Exhale, your chest falls. Your ribs slowly close and your belly falls. Inhale, your belly lifts. Your ribs expand. Your chest lifts. Exhale, your chest falls. Your ribs slowly close and your belly falls. So if you can imagine now pulling the muscles of your pelvic floor up into your abdominal core, engaging your core muscles as you close your mouth, bringing the tip of the tongue to the roof of your mouth, and initiating the breath from the belly, but inhaling through the nose with your core engaged. Inhale, your belly rises, your ribs expand, your chest lifts, and keeping that core engagement as you exhale, your chest falls, your ribs slowly close, and your belly falls. UIG breathing, connecting into your core. Inhale, your belly rises. Your ribs expand. Your chest lifts. Exhale, core engaged. Your chest falls. Your ribs close. And your belly falls. Pulling gently up into your core. Inhale, your belly rises. Your ribs expand. Your chest lifts. Core engaged as you exhale. Your chest falls. Your ribs close. And your belly falls. Just taking a few moments here just to connect back in with your natural breath. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. And we're going to meet in a tabletop position on our mats. So spread your fingers wide. Your middle finger should be facing towards the front of your mat or at a slight diagonal. Your shoulders are stacked over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And just beginning to wake up the spine here as we drop the belly and lift the chest. Shoulder blades down the back, creating an arch in our backs. Exhaling, rounding from the lower back. Rounding up through the spine, pushing the ground away. Chin to chest. Inhaling, drop the belly, lift the chest, shining your heart forward towards the front of your mat. Exhaling, round from the lower back, all the way up through the spine, pushing the ground away. Inhaling, drop the belly, lift the chest, shoulder blades are down the back. Exhale to round. Inhale, come back to neutral, sending all 10 fingers towards the back of the mat, pressing the palms, spreading your fingers wide, pressing the palms of your hands into the mat, spread it, and equally your fingertips pushing into the mat as you open up the wrists. Maybe this is enough for you, or the option here is to just gently to rock the hips forward and backwards. Turn all 10 fingers to face the front of the mat, spread your fingers wide and sink your hips back towards your heels and just beginning to circle clockwise forward towards your wrists, back towards your heels. Hips come forward, back towards your heels. And when we meet at the back, let's just change the direction of that circle, so anti-clockwise. And meeting back in neutral. From here, twisting out from the base of your left ribs as we reach the right arm high up overhead. Send your gaze towards your right hand. Exhale, tread the right arm under the left, palm faces the ceiling, taking your right ear to the mat, and maybe walking your left hand forward, staying up on fingertips for thread the needle pose. Inhale. exhale, inhale, exhale. Walking the left hand back, push the ground away as you twist out from the base of your left ribs. Reach the right arm high up overhead. Exhale, place the right hand on the mat. Twisting out from the base of your left ribs as you extend your left arm high up overhead. Exhale, thread the left arm under the right. Your palm faces the ceiling. Your shoulder blade is down the back. Taking your left ear to the mat. Maybe walking your right hand forward, staying up on fingertips. Thread the needle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walking the right hand back, push the ground away as you twist out from the base of your right ribs, reaching the left arm high up overhead. Exhale. Place the left hand down, finding your tabletop position. And from here, taking your awareness towards your hand with your fingers spread wide. And I'm going to talk here about the hand lock position and how we counterbalance the hand lock to create the foundation of our arm balancing poses such as plank and downward facing dog. So if you can imagine all four fingers dragging in towards the thumb and the thumb equally dragging back towards the four fingers, we call to isometrically contract all the muscles of the hand. And if you can imagine pressing the weight into the index mount, and the weight is now evenly distributed throughout the hand from your wrists to the pads of your fingers, and you'll hear me cueing screw your jarlid. So if you can imagine screwing two jarlids in towards the midline of your body, and if you take your gaze now towards the inside of your elbows, and the inside of your elbows are now facing back towards your pelvis from the internal rotation of your forearm. To counterbalance that internal rotation, we wrap the outer upper arm, your triceps, into the midline and underneath. So if you can now look at the inside of your elbow, they are now facing forward towards the front of the mat, with the external rotation created by wrapping your triceps in and under, counterbalancing that internal rotation of the forearm. And this is the foundation of our arm balancing poses. So tuck your back toes under, push the ground away as you reach your hips up and back away from the mat. For your downward facing dog, let your head hang heavy, reaching your hips high up towards the ceiling, allowing your armpits to hollow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sending your gaze forward towards the front of the mat as you begin to walk your feet in towards your hands. And from here, just rolling the spine up with your head the last to lift, rolling up from the lower back and coming to meet at the top of our mats. Take your feet to hip width. And from here, just notice the position of your pelvis. We're going to do a few pelvic rolls. So if you roll your pelvis forward, take your hand to your lower back and just notice how we have eliminated the arch of that lower back by rolling our pelvis forward, and we can now create an opening in our chest. And as we let our pelvis sit to neutral and stick the butt out, notice how the arch of the lower back is now back in play, and we are kind of rounded through our upper back. So you will hear me cueing to posterior. This is an anterior pelvic tilt, so with your butt sticked out, your butt stuck out, and as you roll your pelvis forward, this is known as posterior pelvic tilt. So you will hear me cueing, roll your pelvis forward to create length in your lower back and to create a core connection from your upper body into your core. So nearly at the top of our mat, with your big toes coming to touch. And if you can keep your attention with me for a moment, we're going to just talk through your Tadasana alignment, your mountain pose alignment, which is the blueprint for all of your standing poses. And you will hear these cues regularly throughout your practice. So starting with your feet, notice as we go up how we can create a connection into our core all the way from our big toe. So your big toe, your little toe, and the center of your heel are evenly pressing into the mat. The back of your calf hugs forward onto the shin bone, and the side of the calf in towards the midline. Lift your kneecaps into your upper thighs to engage your quads. Roll the outer hips in towards roll the inner thighs in towards the midline and up into your pelvic floor. The outer hips draw in and back to engage your external rotators. Pin your navel towards your spine. Knit your ribs in and down and lengthen your side body. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, extend into your fingertips. Broaden your collarbones, retracting your scapula towards your spine. And draw your jaws back to center your head over your spine and just relaxing all the muscles of the face. And this is your Tadasana pose. And notice how we can create connection into our core in the upper body by knitting the ribs in and down, pinning your navel towards your spine. And from the lower body all the way up through the inner thighs, we can hug through the pelvic floor into our abdominal core. So from here, inhale, reach your arms high up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat or just staying up on fingertips. Inhale, half bend with a straight spine. Your shoulder blades are down the back. Placing your hands on your mat, stepping your feet back, finding your hand lock. Wrap your triceps in and under, roll your pelvis forward for a plank pose. Knitting your ribs, pin your navel towards the spine and create a dome in your upper back. Drop to your knees, sink your hips back towards your heels, big toes coming to touch for child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing the hips forward, tuck your back toes, screw your jarlets, wrap your triceps in and under, push the ground away as you reach your hips up and back, letting your head hang heavy and your heels sinking towards the mat for downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Taking your gaze forward towards the front of your mat as you begin to walk your feet in towards your hands. Your big toes come to touch. Root into the triangle of your feet to rise up. Inhale, palms coming to touch. Exhale it down, side body. Inhale, reach the arms high up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, placing your hands on the mat. Inhale to half bend. Straight spine, your shoulder blades down the back. Placing your hands, exhale, wrap your triceps in and under, step your feet back for a plank. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips, roll your pelvis forward, pin the navel, knitting your ribs, and drop into your knees. From here, keeping your navel pinned as we lower our trunk towards the mat, keeping our shoulders forward towards our wrists and our elbows hugging in towards your side body to lower your trunk all the way to the mat. From here, sprinkle your hands forward and wide of your mat, coming up on fingertips, pushing all 10 toes into the mat. Lift your kneecaps into your quads, pushing your pelvis towards them, in towards the mat. Roll your upper thighs into the midline. Your shoulder blades are down the back. Pin your navel. So lifting, peeling the chest off of the mat. Inhale. Exhale it down. Rolling the upper thighs into the midline. Peeling the chest off of the mat for a modified cobra. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting the chest off of the mat. Inhale. Exhale it down. Bring your hands back towards your chest. Hug the elbows in towards your midline. Your shoulder blades are down the back. Push the ground away, coming back onto your knees. Tuck your back toes. Screw your jarlets. Wrap your triceps in and under and push the hips up and back away from the mat for downward facing dog. Allowing your armpits to hollow, your hips to reach high. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sending your gaze forward towards the front of your mat as you begin to walk your feet in. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale. Exhale to center. So from here, stepping your left foot back with your toes pointing towards the left long side of your mat, taking a bend into your front knee so your knee is stacked over your ankle and making sure that knee is tracing out over your middle toes and not collapsing in towards the midline. Ensuring that the arch on the back leg, your left leg, is lifted. So hugging the back of the calf forward onto the shin bone. Creating a posterior tilt of your pelvis to create length in your lower back. So roll your pelvis forward, pinning your navel, knitting your ribs in and down, and extend your arms out for warrior two. Send your gaze towards the front of the mat and drawing your scapula towards your spine to open the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Place your left hand on your left hip. Bend your right elbow and place it on your upper thigh as we twist out from the base of our right ribs and extend the left arm high up overhead, keeping that pelvis forward, magnetizing the two heels towards each other as we inhale for modified side angle pose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Placing your left hand on your hip, lifting your trunk up, placing your right hand on your hip to match, and turning your right toes to face the left long side of your mat. The outer seam of your foot is in line with the short end of your mat. Rolling the upper thighs into the midline as we fold forward, keeping the hips forward but hinging from the hips. Option here is to just come onto fingertips or wherever is good for you, and just allowing your head to hang heavy for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale. Pulling your kneecaps into your quads to create length in your hamstrings. And at the bottom of your next exhale, we'll begin to walk the hands forward towards the front of your mat. Pivot your right foot, pivot your left. Take a slight bend into your right knee as you step your left foot up. Your big toes come to touch. Inhale for half bend. Shoulder blades are down the back, creating length in your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale. Exhale to center. Placing your hands on your hips. Stepping your right foot back to face the right long side of your mat. Taking a bend root into the triangle of your left foot. Hug the back of the right leg forward onto the shin bone to lift the inner arches of the feet and magnetize the two heels towards each other to engage your hamstrings. Your knees are stacked over your knee is stacked over your ankle. Roll the pelvis forward, creating length in your lower back. And spiral the back leg into the midline to create a core connection. So pinning your navel, knitting your ribs. Extend the arms out, retracting your scapula towards your spine, and send your gaze out over your middle finger for warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Taking your right hand to your hip, bend your left elbow and place your elbow on your upper thigh as you twist out from the base of your left ribs, opening the chest, extending the right arm up overhead for modified side angle pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Placing your right hand on your hip, lift your trunk up, turning your left toes to face the right long side of your mat. The outer seam of your foot is in line with the short end of your mat as you hug the calves forward onto the shin bone. Roll the upper thighs into the midline. Pin your navel towards your spine as you forward fold, keeping your hips forward but hinging from the hips, allowing your upper body to roll down for wide-legged forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to walk your hands forward towards the front of your mat as you pivot the left foot, Pivot the right, take a bend into your right knee as you step your right foot forward. Your big toes come to touch. Inhale for half bend with a straight spine. Your shoulders are down your back. Exhale, forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale. Exhale. Taking your hands to your hips. And just stepping your left foot back. Staying up on the ball of your left foot. Take a bend into your right knee. Root into the triangle of your foot. Staying high up on your back toes. And the option here is to create a generous bend in your left knee and spiral that back leg in towards the midline, pinning your navel, knitting your ribs, and extend the arms high up overhead for a crescent pose. Stacking your head over your spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop into your back knee. Untuck the toes. Top of the foot comes to the mat. And with your knee stacked over your ankle, squeeze your left glute towards your front hip for a low lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Placing your hands either side of your right foot, come high up on your back toes and step your left foot so that your ankles are in line with your back, with your left toes pointing towards the top left corner of your mat. From here, root into the triangle of your front foot. Lift the kneecaps into the quadriceps. Spiral that back leg in towards the midline, straightening out through the front leg. Inhale, shoulder blades down the back for creating length in your spine, keeping your gaze forward of your front toes. Exhale, forward fold for pyramid pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a bend into your right knee and step your left foot forward. Inhale, half bend. Straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale. Palms come to touch. Exhale. So stepping your right foot back 3 or 4 feet away from your front foot. Root into the triangle of your front foot. Your knee is stacked over your ankle. Draw the outer hips in and back to engage your external rotators. Spiral that back leg in towards the midline with a generous bend in your back knee, pinning your navel, knitting your ribs. Lengthen your side body. Extend the arms high up overhead for crescent pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Taking your hands to your hips, drop the back knee to the mat, untuck your toes, squeezing your right butt in towards your front hip to release the hip flexors for low lunge. Inhale, palms can come to touch in prayer. exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Come high up on your back toes, placing your hands either side of your mat as you lift your back leg so your heels are in line. Root into the triangle of your foot. Hug the back of the calf forward onto the shin bone. Engage your quadriceps to release your hamstrings as you straighten your front leg. Spiral the back leg in towards the midline. Sending your gaze forward of your left toe. Create length in your spine. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Pyramid pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a bend into your left knee. Step your right foot forward. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale. Exhale to center. Flex your knees. Send your hips back so as if you were going to sit into a chair. Sending the weight on your feet back towards your heels a little bit more. Pin your navel, knit your ribs, and extend your arms forward for chair pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Straightening your knees. Fold forward, placing your hands on the mat. Finding your hand lock as you step your feet back. Roll your pelvis forward, your shoulders are stacked over your ribs, wrap over your wrists, wrap your triceps in and under, and just holding your plank, creating a dome through your upper back. Holding your plank, inhale. Option here to drop to your knees. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop towards your knees. Sink the hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling the hips forward, twisting out from the base of your left ribs. Reach the right arm high up overhead. Exhale, thread the right arm under the left for thread the needle pose. Right ear comes to the mat. Walking your left hand forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walking your left hand back, push the ground away, twist out from the base of your left ribs, reach the right arm high up overhead. Exhale, place the right hand on the mat, twisting out from the base of your left ribs, extend the left arm high up overhead. Exhale, thread the left arm under the right, draw your shoulder blade down the back. Walk the right hand forward, your palm faces the ceiling on your left hand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walk the right hand back, twisting out from the base of your right ribs. Reach the left arm high up overhead. Exhale. Bring your hands to the mat. Walk your hands a hand's distance forward. Screw your jarlets, wrap your triceps in and under, tucking your back toes. Exhale for downward facing dog, letting your head hang heavy. Reaching your heels towards the mat and your hips high up towards the ceiling. The bottom of your next exhale, send your gaze forward towards your hands. Begin to walk your feet in towards your hands. Flexing your knees to meet in chair pose, sitting your hips back as if you were going to sit in a chair. Knit your ribs, pin your navel, lengthen your side body, and extend your arms high up overhead for chair pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back to straight legs as we forward fold, taking our hands to the mat. Finding that hand lock position as you step your feet back, coming high up on your back toes, rolling your pelvis forward, knitting your ribs, pin the navel for plank pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop into your knees, sink your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hips forward, screwing your jarlets, wrapping your triceps in and under, reaching the hips up and back away from the mat for downward facing dog, allowing your armpits to hollow, head hangs heavy. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Send your gaze forward towards your hands. Begin to walk your feet in towards your hands. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale. Finding your chair, extend your arms, sink your hips back towards your heels. Pinning your navel, knitting your ribs, side bodies long. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Straightening through the legs. Exhale as you forward fold, placing the hands on the mat. Finding your hand lock position as you step the feet back, coming high up on your back toes. Option here to come to your knees for a plank pose. So screwing your jarlets, wrap your triceps in and under, rolling your pelvis forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop to your knees. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing your hips forward. Tuck your back toes. Reach the hips up and back away from the mat for downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sending your gaze forward towards the front of your mat. Begin to walk your feet in towards your hands with your feet at hip width. Sink your hips back towards your heels for squat. Holding your squat. Inhale. Option here to place your hands forward of the mat. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Allowing your bum to come to sit on the mat. And from here, rolling the spine down to the mat. And from here, taking the knees up so that your knees are stacked over your hips and your ankles are in line with your knees. Take your hands out to a T in line with your shoulders and keeping that right shoulder pinned into the mat as you allow your knees to fall over towards the left side of your mat for a twisting belly pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing your knees back up to center. Keeping that left shoulder pinned into the mat as you allow your knees to drop towards the right side of your mat. Twisting belly pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hips back to center and hugging your knees in towards your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Placing your heels on the mat. And from here, just rooting into the triangle of your feet. And bring your palms to face the ceiling as we inhale, pushing through the soles of your feet, lifting your hips up, drawing your hamstrings up in towards your glutes so that your knees, your hips and your shoulders are in line for a bridge pose. Engage your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back muscles, and just holding your bridge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop your hips towards the mat. Extend your left leg forward press the center of the heel into the mat as you draw your right knee in towards your chest and up towards your right armpit for a modified happy baby pose. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Extend your right arm forward or your right leg forward. Push into the center of the back of your heel into the mat. Bring your knee in towards your chest and up in towards your left armpit for modified happy baby. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Extend your left leg forward, walk your heels back in towards your sit bones, lifting your knees so that they're stacked over your hips, finding your T as you drop your knees towards the left long side of your mat, keeping your right shoulder pinned to the mat for twisting belly. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Stacking your hips over your shoulders, stacking your knees over your hips. Drop your knees towards the right side of your mat, keeping that left shoulder pinned to the mat for twisting belly pose. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Stacking your knees over your hips, placing the soles of your feet on the mat and pushing into the soles of your feet as you lift your hips up. Hug your hamstrings in towards your glutes, extending the hips up and maybe rolling onto the tops of your shoulders for a bridge pose. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Allow the hips to come back to the mat. Extend your left foot forward, hugging the right knee in towards your shoulder for modified happy baby pose. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Send your right leg forward, push the center of the heel into the mat. Bring your left knee towards your chest and hug your knee in towards your left armpit. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Extend your left foot forward, Take your feet wide of your mat, taking up space with your arms, and just allowing yourself to relax here for your rest pose, your Shavasana. Maybe offering yourself a smile for all of your hard work, and just relaxing here for the last few moments until I call you back. When you're ready, just make a few gentle movements, maybe rolling your fingers, rolling your toes, and rolling over to one side as you bring your knees into your chest and roll over to one side and bring yourself to a seat. Bringing your palms to touch in prayer. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Any questions, please ask, and we hope to see you again soon.